David Lopez never imagined the dusty watch he bought at a New Mexico flea market would be anything but a quirky conversation starter. The old man who sold it to him only muttered, "Careful with that. She don't keep time, she moves it." That night, with a curious tap of the crown, the watch's hands spun wildly. A vortex of wind swirled around David, the room bending like heat on a desert road. Then everything went black. David stumbled into the dry, blistering streets of Lincoln County. Gunfire cracked in the distance. He ducked instinctively and bumped into a wiry young man in a dusty hat with a revolver at his hip. "You all right, stranger?" the man asked with a grin. "Name's Billy. Billy the Kid." For days, David rode with Billy's gang, watching the infamous outlaw charm townsfolk and dodge bounty hunters. He tried to convince Billy to lay low, but the kid laughed it off, saying, "A legend's gotta live fast." Before David could stop him, Billy vanished into the night with lawmen closing in. One twist of the watch later, David appeared in a saloon packed with cigar smoke and tension. A sharp-dressed man with a clipped mustache noticed him. "You look lost, friend. Name's Wyatt Earp. Stick with me, and maybe you'll leave this town alive." David shadowed Wyatt in the days leading to the infamous OK Corral shootout. He saw the gray areas in the lawman's code. When the bullets finally flew, David dragged a wounded bystander to safety, realizing history often left out the collateral. Next, the city buzzed with jazz and prohibition. David now wore a pinstripe suit. Whether the watch changed it or fate lent a hand, he wasn't sure. He found himself seated across from a composed, calculated man sipping scotch in a smoky backroom. "Frank Costello," the man said, offering a hand. "You don't talk much, do you?" David observed the gangster's empire, how violence, politics, and charm danced together. He tried asking why men like him chose the shadows.
To hear more stories like this,
Frank
be sure to
only
like
smiled.
and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.
Same reason people go to church: power, protection, and fear. A final twist threw David into the middle of a scandal. Newsboys shouted headlines, "Watergate break-in." Inside the White House, he found himself holding blueprints, mistaken for an aide. In the Oval Office, Richard Nixon sat brooding, his voice gravelly. "They want to crucify me, kid. You ever try to run a country while the walls close in?" David offered no judgment, just watched as a leader unraveled under paranoia. It reminded him that history was made by flawed men in impossible circumstances. With one last turn, the watch sputtered and died. David was back home, sweaty, worn, and holding a journal filled with names, sketches, and moments. No one believed his stories. But in every history documentary, every Western, every gangster film, David smiled knowingly. He hadn't just learned history, he lived it.
To hear more stories like this, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.